Hello and welcome to another wrap-up episode of Who Would Win Masters. I am Sam Proof on all the socials. Today we're taking a look back at Storm from the X-Men versus Dante from Devil May Cry. We're reading your 5-star reviews, your episode comments, and we will as you, the people, have voted, because that is the freedoms we have. Ray, how's it going?
How free are we, Sam Proof?
Yeah, free for the people to do what they want. All right. And for internets that apparently are holding together. Good. We made it this far. Let's keep it. Man, how's it going, Ray?
I'm having a blast. I'm not really sure what's happening over with you right now. What's going on with Sam Proof on all the socials? How we feeling?
All right. I was feeling great until I tried to connect to the show today, and then my computer just didn't want to act right, or the internet didn't want to act right. But yeah, doing good.
That's a pretty common thing that we deal with on this show, but that's okay.
Yeah. It's a new and different versions of that issue.
Well, look, we're talking about Storm versus Dante with the Blurred Without Fear, Ernie Carruthers.
Yeah.
And this episode was quite the barn burner, and the people at home definitely felt the same way.
Yeah, it was a great episode. Ernie is fantastic.
He's excellent. He's never been on a Who Would Win property before, and I am thrilled for him to be on this time. People say he's the absolute strongest debater, strongest competitor we brought on so far for Who Would Win Masters. And who am I to disagree? I think that the new people that we're bringing on the show over this one and then the next few guests we have coming on, they're all brand new. Never been on a Who Would Win, one of our Who Would Win properties before. And I think the people are going to connect with them, and we'll see what happens.
Definitely. I think there are some really good episodes coming up, so stick around, folks.
Yeah, stick around to that. Anyway, we got reviews to top the show, and we got 2 new reviews. I'm going to read them. Remember, if you want to go on, honestly, it's on Apple Podcasts. Maybe it's on other ones too, but I'm just not 100% sure how to find them. But if they're on Apple Podcasts and you write a 5-star review, I will read it. There was a 4-star review on there, which I was like, you're so close. You're so close to getting it. 5 stars or I ignore you. Anyway, the first one is called CMAC the Eternal Wanderer from Cade Likes Who Would Win. Thanks, Cade. I like Who Would Win. They say, I have just got back from Universe 57B8, where the Council of Rays. It has been decided ours is the most powerful and shall one day rule the universe. So I think they're riffing on the Council of Sams that we talked about last episode.
That's
and
true.
I'm excited for it. There's also a Council of Rays, apparently, according to Cade. I don't know if I'd be comfortable living in that universe.
Yeah, I mean, where would you guys get shirts? It would just be chaos. Like, how many unique shirts could there be?
Everywhere.
It would just be a sea of colors as far as the eye can see.
And you know what? That makes for a better world. Back 100 years ago, this world was in black and white and color didn't exist. And I think that's crazy. How did people live?
Pretty much my screen right now. It's just black and white.
Don't worry about that. We're gonna get you good internet, and we're gonna get you a more top of the line computer at some point in the future, and you're gonna stop having these issues. Anyway, go ahead and read the other review.
All right, the next one is I Have Ideas from Shard Alex. Says 1 Warehouse 13 versus 5 Nights at Freddy's, the Stitchwraith versus Lady Deathstrike. Also, same on anybody who. Wait, what is that? Also, same on anyone who gives disrespect to Deathstroke, because he could easily beat them to a pulp. Also, please read this. All right, we've done that.
Well,
it's been read.
Shard Alex. Alex, I'm so happy. Thank you for the 5-star review. I'm not sure what a Stitchwraith is. Is that a Stitchwraith that it was spelled wrong?
That's what I assume.
What Warehouse 13 means. I'm a little confused. I think these are internet. I think that these are internet like creepypasta references. I think, but I truly do not know. And we don't disrespect Deathstroke here. Remember when we did our charity for the LA Fires episode, I took Deathstroke against everyone from the Marvel Universe. Whoa. So I'm not here to disrespect Deathstroke. I have great respect for the character.
All right. Yeah. I wanted
like
to say
that.
Stitch Wraith, but then I corrected myself to what was written because I read as written.
You know, I mean, look, we just cut and paste these. I don't know. Like I thank you all the people for the 5-star reviews. Please double check your spelling and that the thing says words that you mean for it to say. I actually had a bunch of these comments and whatnot, had to make cuts because I could not understand what the person was even trying to say with their sentences. So here's the deal. Thank you for all of it. You know, just take 5 seconds and edit yourself. Proofread. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Sam proofread because I'm going to have to read it out loud and I
Sam,
can't by
proofread your work.
dyslexia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
All
fine.
right.
Sam, we have the official Patreon fan
Yeah.
vote.
Let's do it. So this was a very close one, and we had two really great debaters going head to head on this. The internet has spoken, and it's a close one. I think this may be the closest one we've had.
Very close.
60% for Dante from Devil May Cry. So Ray continues his streak.
There it is.
And that is how I voted. The people have followed my lead. Thank you again for verifying that, I know what you want. But yeah, this was one of the closest ones we've seen show-wise and vote-wise.
Look, and we knew it would be. We knew that this was going to be a very close competition. Ernie brought the heat. I think, we'll read a lot of these comments, but people were commenting what a great job Ernie did as a debater. Like, this is a guy who has a YouTube channel that has like 100,000 subscribers to it, and he does comic book stuff, right? So this is a guy who knows his stuff, knows how to present it, and I didn't invite him on to have an easy time of it. I do feel like I won this battle, but I do feel like he handed me everything I could handle and then some.
Yeah, he came prepared. All right, should we get into the comments?
Let's go. Why don't you go ahead and read the first one?
All right, first one from Max the Man 1001. I feel like I should be reading this with a lilt. 'Twas a significant battle. For me, the difference was durability. Both combatants could release devastating attacks and had special abilities to counter each other, but Dante can take some real punishment while Storm is a glass cannon, as stated by both debaters. Great debate. P.S. I will eventually send a demo on my boy, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Not regular Ghost Rider.
All right,
Cosmic Ghost Rider. Do it.
Here's the deal. I can't guarantee we'll use Cosmic Ghost Rider, but if you think you have what it takes, look, we are going to start booking a whole bunch of new battles very soon. I mean, we're always in the process of booking, and we do have a few entries still in the hopper that we have to sort of get through. We're sort of going through our first, the first ones that we got, and we're working through them, and we still have folks we got to get to. But that being said, anybody out there who thinks they can come and bring the heat against me, if you think you can do what Ernie did, I'm just saying, if you can't reach that level, probably send it anyway, because I do still want to hear from you. But send your 1-minute demo on any character you want to whowouldwinshow@gmail.com. We are going to be constantly in the look for new people to come on the show, for exciting people to come on the show, and for knowledgeable people to come on the show. And I want to see you there. So send the email, send the demo, and let's take a shot.
Who would you pit against Ghost Rider?
Man, Ghost Rider's a real tough one. We've done Ghost Rider on the previous Who Would Win iteration against Santa Claus, where I think Ghost Rider absolutely won that battle, but the people said Santa Claus, and I don't agree with them. I don't think I ever won a battle against Santa Claus. I don't know what I got to do at this point. That's a tough nut to crack. But that being said, a Cosmic Ghost Rider seems really tough. I think you got to take one of those high-end DC characters, maybe a Superman with the movie coming out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to look and see how they tier out. I've got to do a little bit of research off the top of my head, but you got to get somebody tough to go against Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's for sure.
Sure. Darth Vader.
I'm going to go ahead and read the Darth Vader. I think Cosmic Ghost Rider smokes Darth Vader. Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Anyway, yeah. Even Cosmic Darth Vader, is that a thing? It should be.
Should be.
I'm going to go ahead and read this. So this is from Lord Snurts, who says, fantastic match. Ernie is the strongest new debater for Masters. Delvin is still the GOAT, but he's a veteran at this point. I think Storm won the match. Ooh, okay, bold fire.
All right.
She is more than the master of weather and stronger than your typical glass cannon. She has faced numerous adversaries and come out on top. Dante is powerful, but he does have one weakness, known shippable. Now I gotta, he says Ray is a QA pro, which is correct. He's aware of this curse. Dante is ready to finish off Storm, and then he freezes in place. Nothing is working, and he has to reboot and reload the save. Battlefield removal makes Storm the clear winner. Now, I guess if you're going to be talking about a video game character, you got to look out for bugs and crashes, but you also then got to look out for mods too. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's fair. Ernie didn't bring that into the debate, so I guess that was free sale.
Maybe for the best.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got John Rocky Studney says Dante in some scenarios, well, most but Storms, no pushover. She manipulates the weather and the elements are risky. No, and the elements are mighty. Ask anyone who has been in an earthquake, tsunami, etc. Sure. I mean, Mother Nature's a hell of a fight.
I'm not here to tell tsunami victims their business. No. I will go on the record as stating that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the show.
We got a couple of short ones back to back.
Yeah.
We did have quite a few comments. I sort of narrowed it down, a bunch of real short ones that kind of had the same sentiment. Andy Ballmer says Dante all day. Sam, you got the next short one.
D. Wood says Dante wins hands down. Yeah, he doesn't even need his hands. His hands are down, he wins.
His hands are down. And a lot of people had Dante winning. They didn't really explain why, but they definitely felt that Dante was the winner. Dante would be the winner. And they didn't have much to say beyond that. So I sort of truncated, instead of reading like 17 of those that just say Dante, ! Or picture of Dante. You get the idea. I just wanted to point out there were more than just those two, but I liked a little bit more detail in my comments. So that's going to lead us to Billy Moore Morris, which is a great name. He says, I love Storm, but the only way she wins is she goes God mode fast. Even then, she's having a really tough time. Dante is faster, stronger, and a lot more durable. Dante doesn't stomp, but he doesn't have that hard of a time either. Wow.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Moving on. It's a command and a name. Be Rich. I will. Says Storm solos, medium difficulty. Yeah. The Cosmic Storm is a god. She can do amazing things. The Storm from the comic books can challenge almost anyone. Fair enough.
And that's a fair thing. These comments really sort of reflect that I think generally the people agree Dante wins 60-40. That's what they voted. But also that there's a lot of love for Storm in here. And a lot of people do think Storm. I had one person in the comments being like, I can't believe, essentially in so many words, I can't believe you did this matchup. Dante would win with so little effort. Da-da-da. And I don't think that's the case. And I was repping Dante. And I don't think that's the case. I think Storm has plenty of tricks that she can mess with Dante about. I don't see this as a stomp, high, medium difficulty for Dante. I think in this battle, I think a lot of people out there, for whatever reason, are underestimating Storm's capabilities. Lest we forget, getting struck by lightning is a way to hurt Dante. So it's right there for her if she can pull it off.
Storm is like one of the top 3 X-Men, I would say. Like, not just favoritism-wise, but
sure.
Yeah. All right, moving on. What do you got next?
Us to Mikal Weisoglad, which has got lots of fun happening with his name. He says Dante wins no diff. See, I disagree.
See, but
in his strongest, he fights 9D beings. I don't know what a 9D being is. Like, I know 3D is like third dimension, 4D is time, 5D is smell-o-vision. I don't know. I don't know what 9D is.
It's a dodecahedron of beings. Is that right? I guess it's whatever the Latin for 9 is. All right. Shane Michael Potter says, if we're talking about current Storm that became one with eternity, different story. I want to say there's still a lot Storm could do, but if Dante gets close, it will definitely be a problem, especially if he decides to transform. Yeah, and I mean, I think that was brought in the episode. We're definitely closing that gap and getting face-to-face real quick.
Right. I think he'd have to use the devil trigger at a certain point, although Carl Fulp says Dante wins and he does it without the devil trigger.
Wow.
Maybe that's I think Storm gives him a harder time than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in these matches you're going all out, unless it's an established thing that
Yeah, but we're not picking like best friends to fight each other in this. These characters
right.
don't know each other, but they definitely can assess a threat. You have to assume.
Yeah. All right. Anthony De Pasquale says, I would lean towards Storm because she's an Omega level mutant with energy production on the level of Thor and Wonder Woman.
See, I don't remember Wonder Woman having energy projection.
Right.
But Thor's got the lightning. I guess that makes sense. She is an Omega level mutant, so unlike Iceman,
yeah,
who's not.
Yeah,
she is a real Omega level mutant. You got to respect
for
her.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's for sure. All right, you're up.
Well, then I'll read the next one. We got quite a few comments. We're gonna push through them. We got Mason Mello Simus. Hi, Mason. Good to see you. Dante wins in most scenarios, 7 out of 10 times, due to sheer speed, durability, and versatility in close combat. But Storm could win if she stays at range and nukes hard immediately. I think Mason nailed it right there.
I think that's accurate. Yeah, if she can keep him on the ground and she's in the air, then yeah, that's there's no beating that. But that's a tall ask, right?
Be in a pretty good place at that point.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Dante's not going to let her do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're flying, he's getting up there.
Yeah, he's finding a way up there, and he will be shooting and sorting you.
I don't like using that as a verb. Sorting, that doesn't feel good.
Did that make you uncomfortable?
Kieran, yeah, a little bit. Kieran Lochran says, I would go with Storm. She controls the weather, she flies, and she's pretty good at close combat. But is she Dante good at close combat?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying that she's some pushover in close combat, but he's got that demon blood inside him.
Right.
It's just not. He's not going to mess around with that. He does mess around. I'm not going to say that, but as far as the concentration goes and everything, I feel like Dante's got it there. But Paul Grossenbacher, he says Storm wins, seeing as she's literally killing gods in the comics currently, which I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't
read any current Storm comics. My knowledge base is a little older than that.
I as well. I'm curious what gods we're killing at this point. We'll have to check that out.
What gods are left in the Marvel universe? You got Thor, you've got Loki, Odin, and that whole crew. But are there other? I mean, there are. Know. But what gods is she killing? People at home, I want to know. Comment, hit me up on threads at Almighty Ray 316 and let me know which god Storm is killing in the comics. That's new information. And the thing is, I trust Ernie and his research. I feel like he would have brought that up if it was happening.
Yeah, for sure.
We're having a loose interpretation as to what gods are in this context, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, tag Sam Proof on that threads comment. All right, Cam Sully says Storm can take on any supernatural force because she'll always have an answer for it. Because, she is That's true. Cam Sully mostly is supernatural.
I'll say right now. Yeah, she has the mutant powers and stuff, but Cam Sully's one of the folks that we have an email for. He wants to come on and debate me. And, he really, and I love that. I think Cam Sully's been a fan of the Who Would Win property for quite a while. He's gotten involved in the show. He comments a lot. He gets active on social media with the show, which what more could we ask for? So Cam, we have your send in right now. We don't have anything on the books as of this moment. We have a few other people we're getting through first. But we definitely have you in mind for a future episode. So don't stress it. This is a longer process. We're only making so many of these at a time. So, but keep in mind, Cam Sully, you're on notice. I'm coming for you at some point.
All right, you got.
So we got our last two right here. Ken Bjorn Turner. Hi, Ken. Bjorn the Viking. This is off of Patreon. You can always go to patreon.com/whowouldwinshow and leave your comments there. We will be guaranteed not to miss them if you do that. You're definitely getting on. I can't miss it when you do that. Anyway, first, great debating on both parts. Well, thanks, Ken Turner. I think so. Been a while since I've seen Ray on the ropes, and he came back swinging hard. Storm can whip up a tornado and lightning, but Dante is just going to unleash a barrage of ballistic death all over. Storm's wins may throw some off trajectory, but Dante would learn to compensate for the wins and then hit Storm, breaking her concentration. And once that is broken, he just reloads and makes Swiss cheese with his guns or shish kebab with his sword. Ken, I wasn't hungry before I read this, but now I'm craving Mediterranean steak.
Oh, that sounds really good, actually. I got a jar full of tzatziki and nothing to dip it in.
No, I went out to a restaurant and I ordered shish kebab, and I was very glad that I did. I highly recommend it to folks at home. It's known for a reason.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I really miss Daphne's. I don't know if that chain exists in any form whatsoever, but they closed all the ones that were in the valley. Sad.
They did, but there are other Greek restaurants.
Yeah.
That have the same iconography. But you're right,
sure.
Daphne's was a cut above.
Yeah.
Didn't they have my big fat Greek restaurant at the Burbank Town Center for a period of time?
Maybe. I don't go to Burbank much. All right.
This is an
Forbidden Mob.
Burbank is delightful, sir.
It's all the way over there. It's at least 15 minutes away.
It is at least 15 minutes away. That's true.
Forbidden Mob says 10 out of 10 episode, the closest debate yet. My money was on Dante. Yes, he won, but I gotta say I loved learning more about Storm. I never knew she could read what you're doing next by your body's electrical current. A really smart move against someone so fast who can switch his fighting style on the fly. Speaking of which, his demon form and variety of forms, ! That was it? Okay. It's like fighting Morph, Magic, Shatterstar, and more rolled into one. He can handle the winds, ice, and lightning with his speed and fight IQ. Once he gets up close, it's over. Well done, gentlemen. Ernie was amazing. Your research really showed in the fight. Ray, way to hold on to the strap. Champ, congrats. Yeah, I mean, that summed up the entire episode in so many ways. And this was great.
I saved those last two comments for the very end because I thought those two perfectly encapsulated my feelings on the episode as well. I haven't been pushed the way Ernie pushed me so far on the show. And Ernie brought up some real good facts, some real good knowledge, and his presentation was explosive. So I definitely... You could see it on the show, I think. I got a little nervous. Is this the first time I'm going to be defeated? And I feel like I did do enough to win, but it was real close.
It was really close. And I think this was one of those shows that came down to counterpoints to make the point, to make the win. And it was closing that, distance in when Storm's flying, being able to, get right up there and breaking through a lot of those, wind and electricity powers and stuff like that, But yes, there was so much in that episode. And again, Ernie did do an amazing job. He is very well versed in Storm and just doing his research as well. So congrats to both of you.
Yeah, and I'll take even a second here to say, if you have not already, go subscribe and follow The Blurred Without Fear, both on Threads and on YouTube. That's basically the two places where you're going to find him the most. He does a phenomenal job. He gets into some kinds of good trouble. He has a lot of very strong comic book opinions. That's what drew me to his channel in the first place, his Threads persona. And I didn't see one bad opinion out of him. Just go after go. We were aligned with our thinking. And when I think the way you do, and I agree with what you say, that's how I know you're right.
Well, cool. That's all the comments we have this week. Ray, what have you been watching or playing?
Well, hold on a sec, Sam Proof.
We got to do a thing.
Before we get to all that, we are going to take a quick commercial break. So go ahead. We're going to come back. What are we going to do? We're going to talk about what we've been into lately, what we've been playing, what we've been watching, make some suggestions for the people at home. I got some good ones here. And we're going to reveal next week's matchup and guest debater, but we're going to get to all that right after this commercial break.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, one of us will say. All right, Ray, what have you been watching? What have you been playing?
This is great. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. But, recently in theaters, a new Final Destination movie came out. What, Final Destination 6? I think they call it Bloodlines. Am I crazy? Does
That's
every
right.
movie
That is right.
eventually
Yes.
get to one called Bloodlines? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about it.
I'm waiting for How to Train Your Dragon Bloodlines. Can't wait for that. That's going to be great.
Oh, that's going to be phenomenal. I really look forward to that one. But people have told me like Final Destination movies are good. I've been playing a lot of Final Girl, my favorite solo horror themed board game. And in the new series they just put out, they did one called Terror from Destiny, which is you're basically you're in a Final Destination movie. And I tried playing it and it went hilariously badly for me. I was on top of it the whole time. And something got changed at the end, and one of my victims was counted as being killed, but I didn't know it, and I got killed at the end of the episode. It felt like a Final Destination movie. So those two things combined, I said, I've never seen a Final Destination movie. Not a single one in my life. I didn't really think that was going to be my cup of tea. And so I decided, I want to see 6. So I'm going to go all the way back. I'm going to watch them all in order.
Them all.
I've watched 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've seen the first 3 movies now, and they're all good. They're insane.
Yeah.
These movies are crazy. Nobody told me how silly and ridiculous these movies were, as they just have these wild Rube Goldberg-esque ways that things interact with each other. And in every single movie, it kills people. And every single movie, they just do a great job of thinking it's going to go one way and then letting you off the hook and then killing you in a totally separate way right afterwards. Like very quality kills in this horror movie. Fun characters. There are a bunch of actors in here that I recognize from a bunch of other stuff. It's absolutely great. And the people who made these movies are smart, making a dumb movie, which makes it very, very fun.
Fair.
Because it's just ridiculous and silly. Absolutely, the human body is treated like it's a Roadrunner cartoon in a lot of these. People just getting smushed and torn apart, and it's wild. I did not know how ridiculously silly these movies are going to be. Anyway, so far, I'm 3 of them deep. Big recommend for me. If you have not gotten on board and you're a fan of the genre, check out a Final Destination. And from what I hear, there's no bad ones in the crew. They're all good in different ways.
Yeah.
So just have a good time with it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Unlike some of these other franchises like Saw or Hellraiser or any of these, sorry, those 2 franchises, but they don't just put them out to put them out. They make sure they got a good one in the hopper and then they drop it.
All right. Yeah, I've never watched any of those. Maybe I have to rethink this. I'll take a look. Interesting. Anything else?
Well, I want to hear what movies you've been watching, and I've got a game I've just started playing that I think people would be interested to hear about.
So my family and now I've already seen these myself, but my wife decided that the kids were old enough that over the past, I think it took us about 2 weeks, we watched the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy again. So first time for the kids, but yeah, I got to watch it all again. And we just started The Hobbit, which I never watched that trilogy where we just finished the first one. I read the book and I saw these animated Ralph Bakshi
the Ralph
movie.
Bakshi one. That's excellent.
Bakshi, yeah, which is fantastic. And then they turned it into 9 hours of stuff that wasn't covered in the animated. And it's good. It's like really good because you can only read that book once. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure there's a million people out there who read that thing every year. But for someone with ADHD and dyslexia, it's a long read. That's one of the shorter books.
It is.
But yeah, it's
I
really,
tried reading
really
The Hobbit
cool.
back in elementary school when they put it in front of us, and I remember having a very hard time. It made
It's
me mad. I'll
slow.
be honest. The Hobbit book by J.R.R. Tolkien
Yeah,
made me mad because it's slow. I
it is
really
very
was like,
slow.
I love battles between orcs and humans and
Yeah,
dwarves and dragons, but this is boring to me. How did this guy take fantasy and make it so boring? I'm making a lot of people very mad right now,
of
but I'm
course.
coming with this Hobbit heat.
He
People
spends an
didn't love the movie
entire
as much as they loved the Lord of the Rings
yeah.
movies, but
He yes.
that's fine.
Yeah, he spends an entire chapter just naming blades of grass. I'm pretty sure I remember that accurately. I assume that's the second movie.
Outrageous.
But yeah, we've been watching all of that. The kids have been really into it, which is surprising because my youngest,
That's
it's
great.
hit or miss with her when there's like a lot of like, tense stuff that happens. But she came out just running around the house swashbuckling, so I guess she took it the right way.
Does your kid do the same thing that my kid does? This is a thing apparently the new generation. They're afraid of peril. They're afraid of conflict. It makes them
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yes.
So whenever my kid is watching a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's whenever she's watching a movie on like iPad TV, and there's a segment where like somebody is going to get in trouble,
Yes,
somebody is menacing
unbelievable.
somebody
That's
else.
it.
They want to
Yeah.
fast forward to the end of the scene.
She runs out of the room. She will leave the room. Yeah, if horrible, graphic, bloody battles, she's into it. She's swinging her
Oh,
sword
that's fine.
everywhere. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, if there's even a hint that someone might get in trouble, gone. Out for 10 minutes. We have to do an Alexa announcement to
That's
be like,
crazy.
it's done, it's over. She's okay now. Dad's not mad.
Yeah, that's not something we ever dealt with in our generation. Is we
No.
saw kids getting in trouble all the time. And yes, it was uncomfortable, but it's weird. Yeah, it's just that moment of peril. I'll see her mood change and she'll be like, "Can we skip to the end of this scene?" And I'll be like, "But that's what a movie is."
How will you know how to actually handle the emotional response of this in real life? I don't know.
I don't know. And to be fair,
Yeah,
you told me before that you were gonna have the family watch Lord of the Rings, so I should
yeah.
remember that. But when you first started that sentence, I think my kids are old enough. I really thought you were gonna say, "So we're doing Final Destination. Let's go, everybody."
No, clearly we would start with Freddy versus Jason. I think that would be go
You
straight to
need to see
the
the setup
smash.
movies before it. Come on.
No, we'll do it as a prequel. We're like now we explore who these characters are. Crystal Lake.
You know what? Okay. Where's
Yeah.
that dramatic retelling of the life of Freddy Krueger as a biopic? But before he became a monster. Honestly,
Right.
I think they made that already, and I think it aired on like a Cinemax documentary or something. It's not good. Well, I'm just going to record myself saying this bit right here. I'm also playing a video game that I saw advertised in the Epic Games Store, and I heard a podcast, the What Culture podcast. Those guys are phenomenal. And it was called The Alters. And this game is great. It's a combination of base building, third person exploration, and like a social simulator all at the same time. And it's phenomenal. You get the base building like XCOM or Fallout Shelter is very reminiscent of. You've got some 3D, a very simple exploration, nothing overly complicated. They do a really good job with the UI, so I always know what's going on. And I'm never like confused as to what to do next. They did a phenomenal job with that. And yeah, and then the communication, because the point of this game, and this is not a spoiler, this is the purpose of the game, is that you are a guy on a space mission and you are no one in particular, but you're the sole survivor and you don't know why of this space mission, and you need a crew in order to get yourself out of this dangerous situation and get your ship up and running. So this crew ends up being you. They have a machine that can go through your past, change events in your past to create an alternate timeline for yourself. And then somehow, with the magic of science, you can clone yourself as that new character who did different things in their timeline and had different skills, different knowledges, one of your character has created technology in his life that doesn't exist in your timeline. Very, very cool. And they constantly are dealing with the ethical ramifications of everything that you're doing. So it's this really, really nice, comfy game to play that occasionally throws something pretty tough at you as far as management goes. And you got to navigate all these different personalities because all these U's are vastly different personality wise. I have a crew of 4 clones and myself. I'm never confused as to which one is which. It is truly phenomenal what we're doing here. And I absolutely loved this game. I could see as I'm talking that Sam is having internet problems again. So I am just going to race us to the end. Check out The Alters. It is a wonderful game. Highly recommended. It's free on Xbox Game Pass right now if that is a thing that helps you. Our next matchup, we have a phenomenal guest coming up. Brand new to the show, Dusty Roberts, who himself has a Who Would Win style TikTok channel with lots of subscribers. You should check him out. He's going to be our special guest. He is going to be real tough, very difficult to compete against. I'm going to be taking Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Give me the video games. And he is going to take Anime's Yujiro Hanma, who, if you don't know, it's from a show called Grappler Baki. That's it. I should have written that down, but for memory. But it's an anime show about a lot of guys who go fighting. Yujiro Hanma is Baki's father and the strongest character in this entire universe by far. This is a guy who can, what people think of Akuma being in the world of Tekken and Street Fighter. That's sort of what Yujiro Hanma is in this world. So I'm going to be taking Sub-Zero against him, and I'm very, very excited for this matchup. This is definitely one that you're going to want to tune in for, and that's going to come out 1 week from today, next Monday, and I hope that you like it. In the meantime, for Sam Proof on all the socials, you can find me on Threads at Almighty Ray 316 and Instagram as well. Of course, Who Would Win Show exists. There's a Who Would Win Show. Well, I mean, it exists. We're doing it. It exists as a Facebook group. The Who Would Win Geek News and Battles Facebook group has like 175,000 people in it right now. Not bad. And we have a YouTube channel. I've been putting a lot of clips on there, and Instagram for that as well, under Who Would Win Show. Obviously, if you want to debate against me, you could send your 1-minute demo, please. A 1-minute video is fine. Or audio, I don't care. Send me something that shows that you know what you're doing. And send that to whowouldwinshow@gmail.com. I promise personally I will check out every entry, and we will consider and hopefully reach out to you if you sound good and you sound good, right?
All right, on the odd chance that it's actually.
And also you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/whowouldwinshow, where you can vote in all the polls of who won these battles. You can give comments, easily seen, that we will put on the air. And we're trying to add more videos and clips as we go.
Thanks for listening, and absolutely join us on our social media and our Patreon. You can keep the debates going with Who Would Win Masters on Facebook and Threads, as well as on our Patreon, patreon.com/whowouldwinshow.
We'll see you next time.
Tune in next week to see